Hey, everybody.
Hello, hello. Thank you, dog. It's Friday.
Happy TDIF, everyone.
Oh my gosh. So happy to be with you today. Friday is our favorite day of the week because we get to do doggy crafts. Yay. And with you. Yay. Yeah, we love hanging out with you guys. So if you don't know who we are, I am Patty Quinn and I'm here with the amazing and beautiful Hillary Buholtz.
Hey, everybody.
Beautiful Buholtz. Little tongue twister there. And so we are the co-founders of We Heart Hounds. We love to our pups. We love doing all kinds of fun things in honor of our pups. And that includes crafts and recipes and all kinds of good stuff. And today we're doing a really fun craft. It's really kind of a doggy engagement craft, but it's also for our little birdie friends, our little feathered friends. So we are making dog bone birdseed ornaments. And so for pups that love to hang out by the windows, stay inside when it's chilly outdoors, and watch all the birds and all the activity outside, this is a really fun and super easy craft. The kiddos can join in on the fun, all ages basically, and they turn out so beautiful. They're so sweet. So let's jump right in. The first thing that you're going to need is a quarter a cup of cold water or just tepid water. I'm going to add it to your bowl. I almost knocked this over and I'm not in my kitchen, so I want to pour that in there first before we do anything else. And then the next thing you're going to do is get a packet of gelatin. I've got some Knox gelatin here. And we're just going to sprinkle that on top and then kind of just gently stir that in.
And these little packets are a tablespoon, but if you have like a container of gelatin, just a tablespoon is what you're going to be using.
Yep, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, so we've got just the dry powder on top and we're just going to stir that in together. It's not going to dissolve completely, but you want to kind of just get it incorporated into the water.
Yeah, the big kind of dry areas, at least get them kind of worked in there.
Yeah. Okay. Then we're going to add a quarter cup of hot water, and I've preheated mine and put it in a thermos. And that adding the hot water will then dissolve that gelatin even more. So basically it's a half a cup of water all together. A quarter of it is going to be cold and a quarter of that water is going to be hot. It doesn't have to be boiling.
See if I can get my thermos open here. Kind of.
You want to really make sure it stayed hot.
Yeah.
and you'll see it almost instantly dissolve. It gets really liquidy, which is good because you want to make sure that all that gelatin dissolves in the water in that liquid. It will start to firm up, so we want to move a little bit quickly on this recipe. It's like making Jell-O, you know, when you're a kid.
It's that classic, that gelatin smell where it brings back all those memories of Jell-O as a kid.
Speaking of which, this is unflavored gelatin, so just make sure to use that. All right. Then on top of that, we're going to add a cup of birdseed.
Oh, do we? Sorry.
Oh, wait. Nope, you're right.
Do we add the corn syrup?
Yep. Sorry.
Corn syrup.
Tablespoon of corn syrup. So you don't need the corn syrup if you don't have it on hand. It's not necessary. But what it does is the gelatin keeps the ornament shape and the corn syrup keeps all the little seeds in place. Kind of helps keep the seeds sticking to one another. So I'm just going to do
that's just a tablespoon again.
Yeah. And I forgot my tablespoon. So I'm going to just do a heaping teaspoon, a little bit more than a teaspoon there. If it's extra sweet for the birds, they'll love us.
Yep. And this time of year, they're looking for a little bit of extra calories and things like that. Yeah. So.
And it'll help stick everything together. So yeah, thank you for that. Forgot about this corn syrup. That's why we make such a good team. Fridays, my brain isn't always quite there. All right, still nice and liquidy, still all, nice and dissolved. It's a pretty color, looks good. All right, now we add a cup of birdseed. And I like to use the no waste Birdseed. Doesn't have all the shells in it, but that's not necessary if you have some that have shells.
And I'm just using, we have kind of a big bag, so mine has a kind of mix of whatever. So the one thing I would say is kind of smaller grain Birdseed rather than the ones that are full of like ton of nuts and things like that are probably going to work better.
Yeah, and mine have a ton of nuts, but they also have a lot of the smaller bits and pieces. But you'll see why the smaller little seeds are easier to work with.
Yep.
Depending, it actually just depends on the mold that you use for the ornament.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Now it's looking like granola cereal, or a mix between oatmeal and cereal. So it's getting nice and goopy. Make sure all the seeds are covered. Dig down to the bottom there and get it all well incorporated. All right. All right. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our molds, ornament molds ready. If your mixture looks a little watery and you're afraid it's going to start seeping out underneath the cookie cutters or the molds, you can go on to the next step first, but ours looks, I think mine, does yours look pretty good?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. And it'll sit here for a minute and start to thicken, which is fine. So you just want a baking sheet with foil, and then whatever cookie cutters, dog themed, of course, that you have laying around the house. We have this set of really fun dog bones and paw prints in all kinds of shapes. I'm going to grab a big one, and maybe I don't know what sizes I'll need, so I'll grab a couple of these. And you can use cooking oil to line on the inside of your ornaments, your cookie cutters, if you'd like. You don't have to. I didn't need it when I did these the other day. It worked out just fine, but the birdseed mixture will slip out of there maybe a little easier when you need to. So now we're just and it's already starting to thicken, which is great. Now we're going to start spooning in our mixture into the cookie cutter. Get some of it's falling out. And the idea is to really pack it in there. Make sure you get all the nooks and crannies smushed in. We really want to form that shape.
And you want it nice and tight also, so that like once you have it hanging, it's not going to crumble and fall apart.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you fill yours all the way up to the top?
Ideally you do. You fill it all the way to the top and make sure that it's nice and level. If depending on the size of your ornaments, you can fill them up halfway or 3/4 you really want to fill them at least 3/4 of the way, I guess, just because you want some integrity and stability to the ornaments so that they'll hang, because they do have some weight to them. So before I fill up my one, I'm just going to fill this one up, this other little one that I have, to make sure I've got enough. But really pack it down, squish into all the little corners and areas. Nice and
you
tight.
can feel that jelly is already starting to set. So it is one of those things that you want to work fairly quickly.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go back to my first one. Continue adding more. And you can use your fingers and whatever you have around the house to push down, get it all in there.
I think I'll have to go with it might work. I'm trying to decide like the size of the next cookie cutter that I'll use.
Yeah. And I'm taking out a couple of my larger peanuts and filling it with a little more, some of the smaller seeds. Just again, you want to make sure that everything sticks nicely together and those little seeds fill in a lot of little nooks and crannies, little holes there. Keep it all together.
And if you don't have a variety pack of these cookie cutters, or you don't have multiples of cookie cutters, you could also use, I used silicone donut molds. So
that's a great idea.
Those work as well. And it's just, one sheet. So that is another option. So.
Yes. Yeah. And you can use other shapes if you've got other shaped cookie cutters too.
Yep. Before we started doing these craft projects regularly, I don't know that I had any cookie cutters.
I didn't. I didn't have any. I didn't even have any silicone molds. But yeah, it's been fun kind of adding to our collection. And the great thing about these cookie cutters, and we'll have a link in the tutorial for this kit, this set. Oh my gosh, it is amazing. You get so many cookie cutters of the paw print and dog bones. And they're really inexpensive. You can use them for so many things. You can use these over and over and over again. So, I mean, obviously,
I also love that they come in their own little carrying case.
Yes.
Because having a drawer full of just kind of loose cookie cutters is
exactly.
They're always in the way somehow. So that pack of these is really nice.
Or you can't quite close the drawer enough.
Exactly.
You always have a cookie cutter sticking up. All right. So how are you doing? Are you pretty much wrapping up your filling?
Yep. I just need to get these last little scraps out and then I'll be good.
Me too. Let's push the last few ones in there.
So obviously it'll really vary depending on the size of your cookie cutters or the size of the molds that you're using, how many ornaments you'll get.
Yep.
You can adjust the recipe for
roughly
work for you.
Yeah, roughly about 6 ornaments, or I'm using a really large ornament or cookie cutter shape. But if you look at the standard kind of 2 to 3 inch cookie cutters, you can get probably 4 to 6, I'd say. So, all right. So once we have that done, then we're going to take a drinking straw, just a regular drinking straw, and we're going to cut it into pieces that are about, 2 to 3 inches long. They're going to go flying everywhere. And then you take that little drinking straw and you're going to put it in the ornament. I don't want to say in the middle. You don't necessarily have to go in the middle, but you want to make sure that it's away from the sides, at least a 1/2 inch or more away from the sides if you can. So wherever it's farthest away, like I've got a really tiny little ornament here. I'm just going to pick a spot that's kind of in the thickest part, and you can press the seeds down around the straw just to make sure they kind of re-solidify in that hole. And this is the hole that you're making to tie your string through so that you can hang your ornaments. And this is where you'll also find out why having the larger seeds might be a little challenging, because they get in the way of the straw.
Yep.
So again, Hillary had the brilliant idea of using the silicone mold, and if you have ornaments like a donut shape that already has a hole in it, you can skip this step, obviously, for the straw, because we're just making the hole for later on. So now that you have your ornaments, you can see, I can tip them up. You can see that the holes are pretty far away from the edges, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of the opposite of a Christmas ornament where you have it just at the very top. You want these nice and kind of so it can support the weight of the whole ornament once you put it out on.
Right, because the wind and everything, the weather, it's going to blow these. And so you want to make sure that, you've got some. And they do get a little heavy for their size. So once you're at this stage, then the next thing you do is you stick these in the fridge, ideally overnight, but you can stick them in the fridge for maybe 4 to 5 hours, 3 to 5 hours. And then you're going to want to let them sit. When you take them out of the fridge, you're going to want to let them sit for about 5 to 10 minutes to make it easier just to take the metal cookie cutter part off. So you can take out the straws. Those come out nice and easily. And then you're just going to gently push. Hi, Ginger. Do you smell peanuts? You're just going to gently push along the edges all the way around. Just firm but gentle. And you're going to, if you can try to pull the sides away. I really am not pulling on the sides. I'm really more just pushing down along the edges. I'm just working my way around little bit by little bit.
In the silicone, they just slide right out. So definitely put them in the fridge overnight to really let them set. Mine are still a little bit cool. They've probably been out of the fridge for about 10 minutes or so, but
those are so cute. I love that. But it's fun to have our little doggy themed shape. So here's my little dog bone.
Oh, that's adorable.
So they're really, really cute. And they turn out beautifully. You know, they're so colorful, so pretty. The birds will just love them. So now we're going to take
do yours feel, I'm just curious, do yours feel a little bit, not exactly tacky, but still a little bit moist, I guess I would say.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. Although when I pull my fingers away, my fingers are dry to the touch. So it's that gelatin that you're feeling. So the gelatin is cool. The next thing we're going to do is just grab some twine, some string. If you have some adorable little paw print ribbon, that would be so cute. And you just tuck that through the hole. And then just make a little knot at the top. Ginger's making sure that none of the extra seeds go flying. And all right. So there we go. There's
those turn out so cute. I love them.
They are. And they look so pretty in your trees. Oh, and I love those too. Those are so sweet. And so easy, so much easier. You can skip the whole step with the straw and all that stuff. And then the silicone mold probably makes it so much easier to pop out of the mold shape. But these are just adorable. I have a larger one that's our paw print shape. Oh, so those are so they're so cute. And so the other tip, there are a couple other tips actually that I'll share with you is, if you decide to make these as gifts to people, what I would recommend you do is leave them out for about a week so that they dry completely and there won't be any tackiness to them anymore. And they will really firm up and harden. The part of the reason is because if you don't let them dry all the way, there's a tendency for them to mold, especially if you put them in like a plastic container to give as a gift. So put them in paper gift bags, let them dry for a week, and then you can give them out as gifts, and then they'll be mold free and the birds will be protected and healthy and all that good stuff. So that's one tip. The other tip, what was it I was going to say? Do you remember? The other tip is, oh shoot, I just had it on the top of my gifts and then, I can't think of it. If I think of it, I'll let you know. I guess just where you hang them. So where you hang them, you're going to want to hang them by other branches. because this will be hard for birds to sit on and eat off of. And especially as they get pecked away at and eaten, they'll get smaller and they'll be more difficult to eat from. So if you can hang them rather than on the edge of a limb like an ornament, you want to hang them inside the tree near other little branches so the birds can sit on those branches and then eat off of your little bird feeder.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, great. Hey, Sandy, so glad to have you here with us today. You are a winner of our 2-year planner puppies. Yay! So happy to have you here. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for being with us today. We had some surprise giveaways in store that we hadn't told anybody about, but you get to be the winner. So I will contact you so we can get your address and get this out to you right away. But this is just an adorable little day planner, and it's got little puppies on every page. So it's really, really cute, really sweet. And I'm happy to send that out to you. So thanks so much for being with us today. And everybody else who's watching, thanks again. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you so much. Let us know where you're watching from and what you think. If you give these a try, that would be great.
Yeah, we would love to see how they turn out for you guys. And also, as always, right now there is no link in the description to kind of the step-by-step instructions, but there will be later today. So if you're watching this on replay, there's probably already a link in the description. But for those of you that are watching right now, in a few hours, there will be a link in the description that gives you step-by-step. You can see pictures, and then you can see everything that you need to do to make these yourself.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Hope we've inspired you to go out and have some fun this weekend. I know Ginger's really excited to get out there and watch the birdies play with their new bird feeder ornaments. And we hope everybody has a wonderful weekend with all your furry best friends. Thanks so much.
And Happy New Year's, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Happy New Year. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.